One of the questions I'm often asked about Freemasonry is, what's it all about? Where's it come from? What's the history of it? What do you actually do? And in this video, I'll try to explain some of that. Well, first of all, it's an organisation. It's an organisation, for us, it's a men-only organisation, and it's where a group of men get together. But where did it actually come from? Well, lots of theories about where it came from, but it's basically based on the ideas of the ancient Masons, who used to travel around the world building things like castles and cathedrals. And obviously, to build a castle and a cathedral back in the 12th, 13th centuries, you needed to be well skilled. You couldn't just anybody build a castle or a cathedral. It'd be unsafe and wouldn't be as magnificent as the cathedrals that we have today. So these Master Masons had signs which proved that they were qualified, proved that they were Master Masons, proved that they had the skills to help build the cathedrals and the castles. And these signs were maybe a handshake, a grip, or a password, or some other sign that they would use to communicate to their employer that they were in fact a true Master Mason. So that's a little bit of the history, and we actually use some of that history in our ceremonies, and we sort of use that as a model, as an analogy to explain different things. And the whole idea of building cathedrals, building castles is carried through in our ceremonies, and we use the building analogies in our teachings. So that's roughly where it comes from. It's sort of developed from that. Nowadays, we don't actually have many Masons, real Masons, and so we're not real Masons. We're free and accepted Masons. So we're using their ideas as an analogy to teach brethren about morals. So what actually do we do? Well, we try to make good men better. And so we have a few guiding principles which we have to follow. And so one of the goals is to make our members better people and to teach them how to be good, how to be better people in society. And so we follow the rules of the land that we live in, we follow our rules of Masonry. It's a place where we can make friends. It's where we can meet people that we wouldn't normally meet in our other walks of lives. So I'm a teacher and I go to lodge and I might meet a barman. And we've got something in common, something to talk about. We might have a lawyer comes to talk to the meetings, and they might meet someone who is a shop assistant. And it doesn't really matter because we've all got something in common, and that bond of friendship. Your rank outside the lodge is totally irrelevant to the rank that you have actually in the lodge. We teach respect other people, respect other members of the lodge, and respect the laws and rules that we are governed by in society. Charity forms a big part of our teaching, and so we are encouraged to be charitable. In our lodges, we will do charitable things. We will look for causes which we think are charitable and deserving, and we'll go and support those charities. We might organise events to raise money to support a particular charity. We might go out and help some people, so it doesn't have to be a financial something that we have to give. We may just go and help somebody by going doing the shopping for them, or going to help them do some work around the house. That's the charitable sort of work that we are trying to do. So a little bit of volunteering maybe. So what actually happens behind that door that I showed you in the last video? What happens inside the lodge? Well, the lodge meetings are usually divided into two parts. The first part is the business part, where just like any other meetings of any other organisation, you might have the minutes read. The treasurer might give a report on the finances, how much money we've got, how much money we need to spend on a particular topic. Somebody in the lodge might raise a charitable cause that we might need to investigate and see if we can actually help. We might have minutes to read. So these are the sort of business sort of things that we have going on at the first part. The second part of the meeting will be more of a ceremony, and in this ceremony we teach people about Masonry, and it's through analogies that we do this. And the ceremonies are divided into 3 degrees. So there's the first degree when you are initiated into Freemasonry, a second degree when you learn a little bit more, and the final degree takes you to become a Master Mason. So in the first degree, when you first enter, you're referred to as an entered apprentice. And as an entered apprentice, you're learning the ropes. You're learning to find out what Masonry is all about. And it reminds you that we are all equal. And you are taught about the responsibilities you have to your fellow Masons and to the wider world outside. Once you pass on past the first degree, you will enter the second degree, which is referred to as the Fellowcraft degree. And in the Fellowcraft degree, you're encouraged to improve your education. It might be your Masonic education or your education outside the lodge. Always try to learn a little bit more about the world around you. Finally, you will enter the third degree, and the third degree is the third and final degree, and it encourages you to live life wisely and try to become someone who's going to be remembered as a good person. Now they are the 3 degrees. Once you've completed the 3 degrees, you are a Master Mason. There are other degrees. We refer to them usually as side degrees, and people sometimes, not all Masons go on to do side degrees, but I'll talk about those in another video. There are many side degrees. There is one that sort of doesn't quite fit into the side degree, and that's Royal Arch. And again, I think perhaps another video would be required to explain what Royal Arch is. There's basically, in Freemasonry, there are only 3 degrees in the craft masonry that we practice. First degree, the entered apprentice; second degree, the Fellowcraft; and the third degree, the Master Mason. Thank you for watching. I hope you found it interesting. I'm happy to answer any questions, though I'm not going to give away any of those secrets. That's what makes it a little bit more interesting, a little bit more mystic. But I assure you, there's nothing in those secrets that's going to be harmful to you or to anyone else in the world. It's just really, just like those ancient Masons from years ago, it's a way that we use to recognize each other, so that we know that you're an entered apprentice, or you know that you're a Fellowcraft, or you know that you're a Master Mason, just as the ancient Freemasons, just as the Master Masons from years ago did. Again, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and if you have, just give us a thumbs up and leave a comment down at the bottom. Just say what you think, ask me a question. I'll be only too pleased to answer them. Bye for now. I'll see you in the next one.